Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of AI Gen. Today we're going to talk about one of the most controversial and fascinating and innovation in food technology. It is lab-grown meat, also known as cultivated meat. So some people often call it like the future of food, others call it unnatural or even disturbing. So today we're going to break it down. What is it? How it works? Why it's matter? Whether it could actually replace a traditional meat. Let's get into it. So first of all, let's clear up all of the common misconceptions. So lab-grown meat is not a fake meat. It's not like a plant-based burger to make by soy or even mushroom. It's a real animal meat just produced in a completely different way. So here's the process. So firstly, the scientist is gonna take a small sample of animal cells, and then these cells are placed in a nutrient-rich environment. After that, they grow and multiply, forming a muscle tissue. So think of it like growing the meat in the same way you grow cells in your body, just outside the body. So over time, these cells form a fibers that look and feel like an actual meat. So technically, it's a real meat, just without an animal. So why did the scientists even come up with that idea? The answer is just in one word: sustainability. Let's look at the current situation. Firstly, we got an environmental impact. Livestock farming contributes about 14 up to 15% of global greenhouse gas emission. That more than all the cars, the planes, the ships combined. And also the water consumption. Producing 1 kilogram of beef can require up to 15,000 liters of water. The next we're going to talk about land use. Huge areas of forest are cleared up just to raise animals. And then there's a ethical side. Billions of animals are sheltered every year for food. Lab-grown meats are created to solve all of these problems at once. Let's imagine that less pollution, less resource consumption, and no animal suffering. Sound like a really perfect solution, right? Let's summarize the biggest advantages of the lab-grown meat. So firstly is the environmental benefits, potentially lower gas emissions, less land, less water. Next is the animal welfare, no need for mass slaughter. Food security, we can even produce meat without relying on farm, useful for growing population. Health control, meat can be produced in the slower environment, potentially fewer diseases and antibiotics. So in theory, lab-grown meat could make the food system cleaner, safer, and even more sustainable. Let's be realistic. This technology is far from perfect. The first lab-grown meat burger in 2013 costs about $330. Price have dropped, but it's still really expensive. And next is about the energy consumption. Running labs and bioreactors require a huge amount of energy, so the environmental benefits depends on how that energy is produced. The next is public perception. Some people feel uncomfortable when they're eating lab food. And then finally, I'm gonna talk about scaling problem. Producing a small sample, it's easy, but producing a meat for millions of people, it's much harder. So while this idea is really promising, but there's some still major barriers to overcome. But here's the exciting part. This is not just a theory anymore. Singapore became the first country that approved lab-grown meat. The United States has also approved certain products, and major companies are investing billions in this industry. And some restaurants have already started serving it on the limited scales. So yes, the future of food is already being tested. Alright, so what will happen next? Will the lab-grown meat completely replace the traditional farming? I would say probably not, at least not anytime soon. So being more realistic future might be coexistent. The traditional meat, plant-based meat, and lab-grown meat all existing together, giving consumer more choices. So is the lab-grown meat is the future of food? The answer is maybe, but not certainly. I agree that it has a huge potential, but it does have various challenges. So now I want to hear from you. Would you like to try the lab-grown meat, or does you feel it's unnatural? And drop some thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow for more scientist topics that are actually gonna make you think about it. See you next time. Bye bye.